right. We are here at South Florida Spearfishing. It's what is it? It's almost 11. It's 10 at night on Thanksgiving. My dumbass forgot my GoPro mask, and we called, and he was just like, "Yeah, come over. We'll get you a GoPro mask so we can head out tomorrow and actually have a video for you guys." So shout out to South Florida Spearfishing for being open on Thanksgiving. That's awesome. There's all sorts of cool stuff in here that we just got the whole tour of the place. We're definitely coming back. Definitely gonna put in some kind of order or maybe even pick stuff up on the way back because this place is awesome. All right, we'll do a proper intro as well, but this is the pre-intro. But welcome back to another episode of Crystal Lake Fishing. We're on the boat. There's Evan. Yeah, it's a little later than we thought it was gonna be. The sun's already kind of up, but we're still gonna go. We're just gonna do it. Look, you can see every pimple on my face. Look at this. Yeah, we started filming in 4K. But yeah, we're on the way out. It's gonna be great. See some clouds on the horizon, but it doesn't matter. We're still doing it. All right, we're on the water. Took us a little long to get ready, but we're ready. We're hopping in. Float lines and stuff are in. Gonna do it.
Welcome back underwater, everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you, I filmed this over Thanksgiving. It's been a while. The upload schedule is not optimal, I know. The viz also is not optimal, as you can see, for Wahoo. It's not really clear enough, so we're kind of just hanging out. We dropped down to the deck of Thunderbolt a couple times, and here I just see a nice sized rainbow runner on the flasher. They're really good sashimi, so I plug it just to kind of unload my gun and land a fish, and then after this we get the hell out of there and try to find some productive water.
I got a nice rainbow runner.
But this is actually the first fish that I've ever landed on this gun that I made myself a few years ago. It was made to kill my first Wahoo. I still have not done that, so we shall see. But yeah, I got a nice rainbow runner. I ate that almost immediately. Some of the best sashimi I've ever had. So right after this, we switch spots, and now we're in Evan's perspective. We get to this spot, we're in about 45 feet, and there's this coral head that Evan is diving on. You can see the white right in front of the tip of his gun. That's a coral head. And from the coral head comes this mutton. It comes up to him and meets him at about 45 feet. He plugs it. Shot's a little high, so he's playing it kind of light. And I'll just kind of let this roll, because I don't actually know what was going through his head when all this was going down, because I'm not Evan. This is kind of funny though. He just he just grabs it and chucks it in the boat. Yup. That's his first mutton, so he was very excited about it.
I didn't get it on film, but I got this. Whoops.
Alright, we're back to my perspective. Same spot. I'm just on the deeper edge of the reef because the coral head was kind of in the middle of the reef where it came up off the bottom a little bit. So it's about 65 to the sand right here. And by the sand, I mean the sand out to my right. So I'm on the way down. I'm kind of scanning because from the surface, I saw a hogfish, a mutton, and a black all kind of hanging out together. So I was scanning around looking for them. I couldn't see them. I accidentally turned my GoPro off, which was the cut you just saw earlier, and then I turn around right here and there's this nice yellow jack, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll take it. Yellow jack are tasty, just like rainbow runner, good sashimi. And so I head up with my yummy yellow jack. Love those dives where you see something in the mid column and don't have to go to the bottom. It was weird this day. It was exceptionally clear inshore, but offshore we just didn't have the viz for Wahoo. That's also just a function of it being the Keys, though. Just got my little yellow jack, and now we're up in a much shallower spot. I'm kind of looking back into these caves just to make sure there's no cubera or black grouper. This cave specifically has produced pretty well for me in the past. So I'm just looking in. All sorts of, I think there's grunt and some species of snapper. I don't know what species it is, but like literally thousands of them up in there. And not thousands, probably like 600. It's a big cave. Anyway, I turn around and Mr. Mango is just him and his buddy just swimming right by. I rush the shot and whiff. So once we determined the shallow stuff didn't really have much, we headed back out some deep spots, about 60, 65 to sand here. You can tell the viz is different. That's because we're way further south than we were in that other spot of the same depth. But this spot has these huge boulders. We were really looking for black grouper on this trip, given that the Wahoo strategy wasn't working out. So I head down. You can see, like, we were marking a lot of bait on the sonar. That was those fish you just saw, and I see a really nice black right here. Unfortunately, he's not really giving me that good of a shot, and I take a rush shot kind of for no reason. Get a little trigger happy when I'm down in the Keys, just given how little I get to be down there. This dive is fun and interesting. I get down, and nothing really happens. I kind of realize I'm on the wrong part, and I get back up. As soon as I look down, there's a nice sized bull shark on his way out. So what happened was he came towards me, and once he kind of felt the water from my fin displacing and hitting him, he flipped out and turned around, and so I felt the water from his tail when he turned, hit my leg, and that's what made me look down. And I was like, oh, that's a big shark. Anyway, we keep diving. You can see right there is a big Goliath. But this is the right part of the spot. You can tell how before the spot didn't have much in terms of coming off the bottom. There's a nice black right there. Kind of trying to sink towards him. There's another one on the right part side of the screen. But these blacks were really smart. They were kind of making sure that you couldn't get really close to them, staying, keeping their distance. Nice shark right there too. He kind of followed me up a little bit, but not really that much. But yeah, we named this spot Lion's Den, given that it was covered in three things: sharks, Goliath, and lionfish. So the Lion's Den in both the metaphorical and the literal sense. Anyway, heading back down the same spot. I really like this spot just because how far off the bottom these boulders come. It's like 10 feet of relief. And the rest of the area around it looks like the dive with the first shark, where I kind of, you can tell it was a little flatter. Also, I am in a public area recording this audio, so if you hear any background noise, my bad. Nice black grouper there. Another rush shot. Not proud of the rush shots, trust me. Okay, so the weather kind of screws us, and that's the end of day one. Kind of mixed bag. Not all bad, but definitely not all great. Alright, we're back for day two. We head straight out to the spot with the boulders. We are this I'm dropping on a slightly different part. You can see this crevice right here. We knew about the crevice. We thought there might be a black in it. Instead, you can see this big yellow jack comes out, and he takes off, wraps himself around the reef, just tearing at the shaft. You can see Evan's perspective up in the corner. He comes down with the assist. This fish would not have been landed if he didn't come down here, grab the line the way he did, and start pulling it up off the reef, because it was wrapping itself around, and you'll see that it was literally like when it got wrapped around the coral, it was tearing the shooting line through itself.
It's a CV City, baby.
Very excited about a big yellow jack, because obviously that means just tons of sashimi and sushi. So I see, at this point I've seen that he's torn through a good part of himself, and I'm trying to ask Evan for a second shot there. And I'm just playing him nice and easy until Evan can get that second shot in, and then we get him, and we bring him up.
He was like barely on, right?
Yeah.
He tore all the way through.
Now, I don't know why the camera makes it look like at all even a similar size to the other yellowjack I shot. This one is like probably 7 or 8 times bigger. It's a really nice fish. I was very happy with it. Alright, so we kind of let the spot chill out for a couple minutes after we shot the yellowjack, took some pictures, made sure it was good on ice, all that stuff. As soon as we hopped back in, however, we saw like 3 or 4 sharks kind of cruising through. I think it was the same one twice and then a couple other ones. See right there though, the spot has reset a little bit. I dropped down, I see a couple blacks right there. I'm kind of sinking a little bit towards it, but he's kind of too small for me to give too much attention to, and then I see this mutton, and I decide to shoot the mutton. Now, Evan was also on his way down, and he said that my shot spooked 2 big black grouper, which sucks, but I like mutton snapper. But yeah, that's Evan's perspective up there. He heard the shot, and he started heading up, make sure to help out and stuff, in case I needed anything.
You spooked 2 huge blacks.
Evan,
I followed the boat.
Nice little mutton. I was pretty excited about it, given how the trip had been pretty difficult up until this point, and up until the big yellowjack. The big yellowjack was nice too, but getting me a mutton for this trip was good. Alright, so I'm putting the mutton in the boat. I get back in the water and I'm like, alright Evan, go find this black grouper. And I was kind of hanging out at the surface, safetying him for this dive, and I'll just let his footage play here. He kind of catches this at an awkward time because you'll see he gets down and he sees this grouper right there, and he can't really sink down further towards it because if he does, he's going to spook it. So instead, what he does is he waits for it to give him a nice broadside, and then just pulls the trigger from far. But he's got that big Rob Allen roller, so he's able to do that pretty easily and get the right shot on it. There's me coming down to help with the fish. Make sure everything's chill given the amount of sharks that we'd seen. Yeah, pretty kind of textbook dive. At least it's a good textbook dive for us. The system that we figured out together.
what's up?
You gotta dive on the sand.
There's his grouper. Alright, so this dive just totally caught me off guard. I was not expecting to see one of these. This ended up being a personal best, and just like a crazy, like it wasn't even on the list of species that I thought we were gonna see on this trip. See that big Goliath again. Then I get down and I see this big snapper. I was like, oh, is that a mutton? I was like, no, it's got yellow on it. So I take a rush shot. It's a low shot. It's like in the gut. Like I'm freaking out because the Goliath is coming towards it. Evan comes in and saves the day. Watch this. Comes in, starts pulling it up away from the Goliath, keeping the Goliath at distance. This fish would be in the Goliath's mouth if Evan hadn't come and just like done exactly what we drilled, exactly our system. We get this thing up and look at how barely I had it by the intestines. Big dog snapper.
That's a stud.
For the keys, that's a big one. And look at my shaft. Oh my god. It was literally hanging out by the intestines. We got it. That's one of my favorite fish that I've ever shot. It's just a really cool dive.
So this is what we have to show for the weekend. It's a big rainbow runner. We got the black, we got a nice mutton, we got the dog, we got the big yellow jack. What we're gonna do is tonight we're gonna have some sashimi with the small yellow jack, the rainbow runner, and the mackerels. And then we're gonna cook up the rest of it at some other point. Probably gonna vacuum seal some of it because it's a lot of meat, but yeah. Good weekend.
Oh yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is gonna get uploaded so late. Got yellow jack, like the toro, the fatty part of the stomach. Look at that. Look at that marbling. Wait, I'll zoom out. Boom. You ready for sushi, Evan? We got the rest of the carcasses right here. I leave in 5 minutes for the airport. All right, let's get it. Punch. Oh, dropped it. Okay, I got stopped, which makes sense. It should be in the left one. Yeah, it's in that. It's wrapped in the towel to keep it nice and cold. The opening is at the top. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't have time to clean them like I normally do and pack them nice and neat, so I just threw them in a container.
Okay, whatever works, right? Oh, yep. Definitely nothing bad.
Welcome back to another group. Why can't I ever do it right the first time? Welcome back to another episode of Crystal Hook Spearfishing.
What the f are you saying?
I don't know. Welcome back to the episode of Crystal Hook Fishing. We are about 3.5 hours into our drive to the Keys. It is Thanksgiving. It is 9:30 p.m. I forgot my GoPro mask, so we're making a pit stop at South Florida Spearfishing to grab a GoPro mask. For some reason, they're open at 9:30 p.m. on Thanksgiving. Thank God. We're gonna pick up a mask. We're gonna head to Marathon, go to sleep. We're gonna wake up in the morning, and we're gonna shoot the Wahoo. Evan, we gonna shoot some Wahoo.
Yeah.
Punch the camera.